to me, put you on.
What happened? What?
I don't think
Did it
JC
just
wants
go
you on.
off again?
Yep. That's cool.
Good morning, Northern Michigan, and welcome to Friday Faceoff here on Up North Sports Radio, 101.1 WGRY. Jerry Coyne, Rich Calkins, and Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, in the studio this morning. Guys, can baseball stay this exciting for another 2 months? I don't know, but right now it feels like, you know, how it did a few years ago when all these teams were battling for the one playoff spot when Major League Baseball decided to add the wild card in all the positions. Tigers kicking some Major League ass, the Red Sox coming back, the Cubs winning all these. After I changed, you know, brought my allegiance up,
yes.
the Cubs have not lost since then.
The Dodgers have not won since the Scooble trade.
No, the Dodgers, very interesting circumstances in baseball, and the Tigers are hitting the cover off the ball.
A plus 55 run differential in the last 8 games.
Yeah,
I mean, see how Max Clark stretches out the lineup.
Yeah. When you put quality people in the lineup and they're right the way they're playing right now, it's amazing how different this offense looks.
The one thing I was curious about, and the reason I kept trying to call for Max Clark to come up earlier in the year, was just the energy, the excitement,
Yep.
the youth, the infusion of youth that they've brought to that team. You look at it, and I see the same kind of setup from 2 years ago. It's a young team. They got rid of the two top guys. Valdez steps in now that he doesn't have Mize and Scooble talking about his contract behind his back. Right. So he's locked in now. But this is a kiddie core now.
Those young guys.
He pitched against a very easy lineup for a left-hander to pitch to.
I'll take it.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Mariners lineup is pretty lefty dependent. What is this? You know what?
His stuff looked good though. His stuff really looked good.
How come there's no right-handed hitters in baseball anymore?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Our future outfield is all left-handed.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely insane. Everybody in the Tigers farm system is left-handed hitters.
I think I text you guys. Are there any right-handed hitters around anymore? During the trade deadline, they
took Clark and McGonigal, and you're like, all right, they take the left-handers. I got the left-handed bats now, and then they take Rayner, and I'm like, he's a left-handed bat, and then they keep taking left-handed bats.
Obviously, it doesn't matter from a scouting perspective. We're taking the best player available.
Right.
And it's worked out.
Rayner's going to be great.
No,
I think
I'm just saying, you could say whatever you want about who's our GM.
About Scott Harris.
Scott Harris, but his youth talent evaluation has been spot on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're professional trade the way that questionable, but his eye for youth talent the way that this lineup, you talk about how young we are with those guys, with Max, but they go to the plate with a mature approach.
Yeah.
They take pitches. They're like, no, I'm not going to swing at crazy stuff. I'll swing at something in the zone, and I might miss it, but I'm not going to swing wildly. And it's like it's really starting to pay off.
Well,
Javi coming back helped too.
Well, yeah, and putting Torres right behind
Yep.
McGonigal, so you do have left, right, at the very beginning of the lineup. Then it depends.
It's hard to get at bats or how you lead now. It's hard to, with guys like that.
I was listening to the broadcast yesterday afternoon, and Dickerson was talking about the 3 hitting coaches that the Tigers have, and how, like you just pointed out, Rich, the approach for this team is very disciplined.
It is.
Even Javi is not swinging at BS anymore, and that's why they're scoring a lot of runs. And the only thing they still can't do, they haven't had to do it much lately, is move guys along in low scoring games, and we end up stranding people on base. That has been the historic problem for this ball club since 1966.
It's been the lineup's been working out well. Do we not think that Clark will be the eventual leadoff hitter? You would expect, but run a little bit more. Going first to third. That's been big. But, the thing is, we haven't been in a situation other than the one loss where the bullpen bit us.
I think the real question is, can Jackson Jobe come in? He's going to start, tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
yes.
And
quick.
get people out,
Right.
For 6 innings. And of course, what's going to happen in the bullpen? It's great when you're leading by 5 runs. You'll occasionally piss away the 7-run lead. But your chances of winning the baseball game in the 8th and 9th inning with a shaky bullpen is to have a lot of runs in your back pocket.
Yeah, everything looks great when, like you said, when you're blowing the people out.
Yeah.
Then you don't go to your weakness, which is the bullpen.
Yeah.
And then it's those tight games. You're like, oh no. You hold your breath. You're like, come on. Can we get through this?
When's the last tight game we've had?
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that Joe was going to go straight to the bullpen. I believe he'll probably be on a roughly 70-some pitch limit tomorrow, which means probably 4 innings. I'd love to see him in the back end of the bullpen now.
That's I think his
and I'm
arm is
hoping River
suited
Ryan
for
can
that.
come and contribute because he's got the same kind of stuff as Job. Put those guys in the back or bring up a starter and put Montero back there. But that part of the bullpen, Finnegan and Hannafy, it's been horrid.
What is the story? Did you guys hear the story that Casey Mize said the Tigers never offered to extend him? Never had a discussion to either him or his agent. Not even floated out a low dollar deal.
I know. I heard that same thing, and that's shocking.
It's readable.
It's
It's in the Detroit News. 2 different articles about it.
It's shocking to me, to be honest with you. I really thought that they would offer him an extension to stick around. But
They've got to be frustrated with his injury history then. They just have to. This was the first. Every year that we thought it was going to be Casey Mize's year. Last year I thought he was going to, perform all year. And then, again, things happened. This year, the injuries, the hamstring. I think they just figured we're not going to give this guy $25, $30 million if he's going to miss 10 starts every year.
I guess that is the only explanation. I doubt you'll ever hear Harris even say, he just didn't fit in our long-term plans. Is that we like who we have? He's been tremendous this year. He got rocked.
Wow.
In
San
Diego.
did he.
he gave up
Boy,
8
did he.
earned runs.
Yeah, that was
his worst pitching performance.
Was it to the
To
Nationals?
Arizona, which made it even better
yeah.
because Arizona had been the rumor all week for Mize.
Yeah.
They don't get Mize. San Diego gets him. They face him. They destroy him.
Speaking of ex-Tiger pitchers, did you watch Scooble's
Oh,
debut
yes.
at
Yes.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Yes.
Man,
Look familiar.
You could say what you want about Wrigley Field, but that place was humming on that.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. That Cubs run, and when they eventually won the World Series, that is the coolest place to see baseball, whether you're in the ballpark or even watching it on TV, guys hanging off the roofs, everything else.
We need a Cubs-Red Sox World Series.
No, we don't. We need a Cubs-Tigers World
Well, I
Series
just
like
made
we should have had in 1984.
I just had to watch the Big Poppy replay the other day, the Grand Slam. Joaquin Benoit, what were you doing? We had that.
What do you mean? The guy's in the Hall of Fame.
2-0 lead. We had.
I don't care. The guy's in the Hall of Fame for a
Benoit
reason.
isn't.
So what? That's what I mean. Okay, so I'm just saying.
It was a 4-0 lead.
You don't go back and watch good highlights, Gordon. You go back in the heartbreak.
You Barry Bonds him. You walk him.
I know.
Just
I
walk
know
him.
the cliche is good pitching beats good hitting. While the inverse is also true. Great hitters beat good mediocre pitching.
30% of the time.
30. I don't know what. I don't think he hit 300 for his career average. That would be a guess, but.
I had a friend.
And remember, he was kind of a late bloomer.
I had a friend of mine at that game, and we're so excited throughout the first 6 innings. We're going to sweep them. We're going to sweep them. It's 5-1 in the 8th. He's planning the next. We got this game, and then boom, Torrey Hunter falls into the bullpen, and the security guard sits there and just watches him fall. Hope you're okay, buddy.
But you mentioned the Sox there, the Red Sox. They're
the other
on
thing,
like
35 and 5.
I was going to say they're a
35
Tiger-esque
number.
run.
Yeah. They are. They are inevitable. It looks like. To be perfectly honest with you, unless Aaron Judge comes back. I loved all the deals that happened. A couple of guys came out and said, "Well, the guys that did the best job were the Indians. They haven't won a game since the trade deadline." They actually picked up some very interesting pieces at the trade deadline.
And then they've lost 12 out of 14 or something of that effect.
Well, that's why they made the trade.
Oh, yeah.
So we can't give this position up. And all 3 games that they've lost since.
Yeah.
They focused on bats because they weren't scoring.
To the Mets.
The Mets got their second sweep of the season. The other one was
Nothing will demoralize you more than losing right now to the Mets.
Tigers got swept by the Mets.
So the Tigers have got 3 in San Francisco. Rich, who does pitching tonight?
We got
Montero.
Cater.
Cater.
It's been pretty good.
Yeah, he's going against Hauser.
Pretty good.
Adrian Hauser.
Pretty good.
All right.
The Giants traded away Robbie Ray as well, which I thought they did not get enough for him.
He's got traded a lot in the last few years.
I don't understand that. He's always good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But he's like the perfect guy, I guess, good enough to get traded, and people want him. So,
the one thing I was looking at the trade deadline with our division was, everybody picked up pitching.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here looking at these trades as they're coming in, and the first thing I went to was, what did they give up for the guy with the 5.68 ERA that has 3 wins and 13 losses? What did they get? Foster Griffin, Cleveland got shelled. They've all got, Freddie Peralta got shelled. Mize got shelled. Castillo, right on cue yesterday, gave up a lead. None of the acquired starters, other than Skubal, do these teams now understand what they were supposed to be trading for? Because it wasn't just acquire a starting
pitcher. The Tigers
pitcher.
didn't know what they were trading for last year.
I was going to say,
so what are you talking about?
Reminiscent of.
You're trying to get, one of the great terms in Detroit sports is on the margins, right? Can we bring in somebody that will get us 3 more outs? Well, it looks like he could, but he didn't. Again,
Finnegan was good for a little bit, but
pitching
that was
is
it.
an art. You should know that by now. You're Mr. Baseball.
Yeah, I pitched.
Okay.
I know that.
No, I'm just saying. It's not, guys who were great one year, not great the next. You know what I really appreciate?
It depends on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Casey Mize had one bad start for Detroit, and it was the first time Valencia had caught in Detroit. Then I said to a buddy of mine, well, now he goes to San Diego with a strange catcher. Will this go ahead and be a problem again? And at that point, if you're having problems adjusting to new catchers, there's got to be more to this story. There absolutely has to be more to the reason they would not, bring a guy back who at the time was pitching as well as anybody in baseball.
It's going to be super, super interesting. Obviously, they should take 2 out of 3 from the Giants. The Giants are in a free fall.
Next week is the key.
Next week is the key. Yeah,
it is.
Or it'll be the key until it isn't the key.
Right.
But here's a fun one. If the Tigers could win the next 10, they'll be in first in the division.
You think they're going to win 10 in a row?
If I just said if they did.
No, I'm just saying.
Because the White Sox play Cleveland and the White Sox play us.
We have yet to beat the
Part of that
the
sweep
Guardians
would be
this
us.
year.
We
have not beaten the Guardians this year. We are 0-8 or 9 against the Guardians.
Then we're due.
We might be due.
Before the
Or
trade.
are the Guardians going, thank God we're going to Detroit?
Finally.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, finally.
Right.
Oh, Jesus. We get
Foster Griffin will pitch a no-hitter now.
But the Tigers, what was their postseason percentages? Way low. Now they're at 38%.
Yeah, they were.
That's like the odds of a
21%.
rate. That's like the odds of a Fed rate hike. Jeez.
Gordon, Miller Lending.
What is that? What is
no
Gordon-
cost.
Oh,
no
yeah.
cost closings.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, right.
Yeah. If you are having trouble sleeping, give Gordon a call, and he will explain the no-cost mortgage to you, and you will wake up the next morning with a loan.
I have a better way
And
to
more
s-
money in your pocket.
I have a better way to sleep than that. So, as you guys know, back in '06, I did Ernie Harwell's audiobook. And as we were going through recordings and we're editing, and we got 13 hours of tape, and we're turning it into a 4-hour CD of his life history, the one thing that I would notice as I'm listening to Ernie in these interviews going on is I finally went ahead and I came back to the studio the next morning and I said, I figured it out. And he said, oh, what's that? And I said, you talk in melody. You talk you are talking in nighttime stories. So now I get the whole, you might have gone to bed with me, but you woke up with J.P. McCarthy thing because you talk in a way that just is a lullaby. And he said, well, you're probably right. And
Yes, with that back end Georgia accent.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
he was just so great to listen to. So great.
As I said, I reiterate what I opened the show with. Can baseball stay this entertaining?
It's going to be like this, and then they're going to go on strike for months.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have the peak playoff.
So enjoy
Well,
it now.
all the excitement.
Can they go on strike if if Milwaukee wins the World Series,
Right,
the
yeah,
Tigers
exactly.
or something? Then they're like,
Throws
what the hell
everything
happened?
upside down.
I'm taking the field against the Dodgers. I don't think the Dodgers will necessarily win it.
That's fine. I'm not saying that the Dodgers won't necessarily win.
No,
it.
I'm
I'm just saying.
it'll be.
But will the Cubs or the Phillies or some one of the
Another
other big
big,
market team or the Yankees? Then they have all the ammunition they need.
Cubs are going to cause some trouble.
No, the Cubs, if the pitchers that they picked up can get guys out, their starting pitching is the only problem. That lineup is ferocious.
They're going to be trouble.
Did you see that sign in the MV Pete?
Yeah.
We got some messages from our very fine partners. We will be back to talk a little bit Destination MLB with Cherry Capital Airport, and then a special guest will be joining us, a Michigan football legend here on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Faceoff, brought to us by tvcairport.com. Welcome back to Friday Face-Off here on Up North Sports Radio 101.1 WGRY. It's time for Destination MLB and maybe NFL. Autumn McLaren is joining me from the airport. Good morning, Autumn. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. It's a beautiful Friday.
It's a beautiful Friday. I guess Kevin has decided to cede this to you as the Tigers continue to win and are looking more and more likely to head to the playoffs.
I think so. I think he has a strategy here, right? They're doing so well, which breaks the curse or the theory that I think you and him both concocted? That when I
No.
come on, the Tigers go into a losing streak. So that's
I
not the case
had
here.
nothing to do with that losing streak. I've been supporting you 100%. So, where are we I know the Tigers are in San Francisco. Can we jump on a plane and see them this weekend?
You can. You can still get on a plane here at TVC, Cherry Capital Airport, and Sun Country and Delta combo. Sun Country will get you to Minneapolis,
Right.
and then from Minneapolis you can get to San Francisco, and leaving today for $614. Up from last week when we talked about this, but not bad for leaving day of.
To me, one of the three most beautiful ballparks in America is it was PNC Park. I don't know what they're calling it now in San Francisco, right on the bay there with McCovey Cove. It's a tremendous place to see a baseball game and watch the Tigers kick the hell out of the Giants for 3 games. So
I know, yeah, it would be a great trip, and not only a great trip for baseball, of course, but you and we talk about food all the time. It's such a good foodie city.
it is the foodie city. It doesn't matter where you go in San Francisco. You can walk down the street, just walk into some place. There's somebody from the one of the great chef schools in America there, and you'll find another great meal. And I agree with you. And that whole area right around the ballpark, which is just off of downtown, about 7 or 8 blocks, that is all burgeoning now into great dining. There's some beautiful hotels there. You don't even have to leave the area, really. San Francisco, one of the great walking around cities there is in America.
I love that. It sounds like you and I are headed there on that flight this afternoon.
I don't know if your husband or my wife will like that, but we can figure out our excuse later. Hey, it's strictly business. Monkey business. No. Where else could we see the Tigers on the road, Autumn?
So after San Francisco, they're back home for a good part of August 11th through the 16th, it looks like. And then they hit the road again August 17th through the 19th. They're with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and JetBlue can get you there through Boston, a connecting flight through Boston to Pittsburgh, the most affordable at about $550.
Okay. Another great downtown ballpark on the water where the Pirates play, and then you can flip around and see them in Kansas City.
Yes, definitely. And that flight, this is a kind of a steal. It's about $300. Delta, United, and American, all about $300, can get you there and see them against the Kansas City Royals, August 21st to the 23rd.
And then the one last question for you: what time? I know the Tigers have the Twins in Minneapolis at the end of the month. Can we still get on Sun Country then, or is that flight going away?
Yeah, you can still get on Delta over to Minneapolis at that time.
I know the Sun Country window is small.
Yep, it is small, and I believe you can get out. You can get out there on Sun Country. The flight's still running, but on the return, by the time you return, Delta will
September
be the Minneapolis flight.
Yeah, the Sun Country flights end at the end of August, and that series goes into September. Autumn, anything else? Any update on our Frankfurt flight?
Our Frankfurt flight is still holding just shy of $900. So I have a feeling that's going to start to head up there. That's pretty good fare for Europe, especially that time of year. So if any interest is out there, anybody listening, I would say get on that right now. Buy that flight before that bumps up quite a bit.
And where do we see all these fantastic fares?
TVCairport.com.
Autumn McLaren, great job. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
All right, there you go, guys. Traveling to see the Tigers is one of the things we like to talk about here, and I'm going to jump on the phone and get our special guest.
Okay, well, Autumn we might have to keep her in this spot here, Gordon, because since JC's been talking to her, the Tigers have come through the trade deadline. Things are looking up here, so we might have to have Kevin Klein to do the GMing type things.
I got to tell you, on social media, I was having a field day after the trade deadline because I remember River Ryan in 24, and I remember telling myself, how in the world do the Dodgers find these guys?
Right.
And he had better stuff than anyone on their staff.
Yeah.
And he got hurt. Pitchers get hurt.
JC.
But, at this stage,
Hey,
should he come back for the
live
month
on
of
the radio?
September?
Yeah.
I want to see that kid throw.
All right, good deal.
I really want to see that kid throw.
Yeah, no doubt. Like
And prospect-wise, they did fine. The Brewers fans were thinking that the Tigers took less of a deal than the Brewers
Gentlemen,
offered.
I
No,
was
they
able
didn't.
to get Jarrett Irons, Michigan football legend. Jarrett and I run into each other on Mackinac Island, and a two-time captain at U of M. Jarrett, good morning. How are you, bud?
Good morning. How you guys doing?
We're fantastic. As we were talking when I saw you last on Mackinac Island, I know you've spent some time with Coach Witt and been checking out the team, and we're getting close to kicking off one of the most interesting football seasons at U of M we've had in a long time.
Oh, yeah, very excited. I've gotten to know, I've met with Coach Witt numerous times and his staff, and I can just say that Michigan, we're in a good place. We have a great coaching staff. You see what we're doing in recruiting. Dave Pelican, who's our new GM, he was at Notre Dame when my brother was at Notre Dame. Great GM. He's bringing some great recruits in. But, no, there's a lot of excitement. I was just at Coach Witt's golf tournament, I think it was last Monday, and all the players are excited, man. They're pumped. They are ready to go, and it should be a great season.
When we were talking, Jarrett, you told me that Michigan fans in general are going to be really impressed with how physical this football team's going to be.
Yeah, if you look at Coach Witt, he's a throwback, man. And I think, he has a chip on his shoulder. The fact that Utah kind of wanted to go a different direction. He wanted to continue to coach. And I think that for all the things that have happened in Michigan the last few years, after Jim Harbaugh, I think that, we lack some of that toughness with Sharon. And so these players are embracing it. I spent a lot of time going to practice during spring ball when Coach Witt was kind of putting in his program and his coaches and putting that in. And toughness is definitely going to be a focal point. And honestly, at the end of the day, that's what Michigan is built on. That's what we are. That's what Bo Schembechler and Gary Moeller and Lloyd Carr, that's that Michigan tradition of toughness. And they're going to be a sound football team. And it's going to be a fight in each game. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, hey, Jarrett, Rich Calkins here. Thanks for joining us this morning. And, hey, a lot of the season, does it not come down to the development of what Bryce Underwood's going to do this year?
Yeah, I think. I'm not going to say that it comes down to that. That's one of the factors. Okay. I don't know if you guys know have looked. I was spending a lot of time with Tony Alford, who is a good friend and our running back coach. That running back room is ridiculous.
Yeah.
We probably will have the number one running back. That's probably the number one running back room in the country. We don't need Bryce to take over games or anything like that. You look at our offensive line, they're gelling. You look at our offensive line coach and the guys that he's put in the league and just what he does. We're going to be fundamental Michigan football. We're going to run the rock, and we're going to pound you. We're going to be very physical. But, yeah, we have receivers that we can throw the ball to. We just need Bryce to just not lose the game for it, just play his part. You know what I mean? And I think that, a big emphasis, and I know a lot of articles have been put on it. But listen, Sharon, that job was too big for him. And I love, Sharon's a good guy. Look, he made a mistake and so forth. I don't have anything bad to say about him. He made a mistake. That job was too big for him. But one thing from a coaching perspective, he didn't understand that if you have a player like Bryce, a generational type player, and you don't have a quarterback coach for him, his development's going to be stymied no matter what. And so in today's football, you gotta have that. And that's something that, Sharon didn't understand. And I'm glad now that Witt, a guy that's been coaching for a long time, understands. And we have a good quarterback coach, Coy Detmer, which I've met a few times. I've played against, his family members. Sure. And so it was good to catch up with him. But no, I think it's going to be exciting. I think Bryce is going to make a big push this year. And being around him, I was sitting with him during spring ball, we had a mentor dinner that we do. I'm vice chair of the football alumni at Michigan, and we do a mentor dinner with the current team, talking about entrepreneurship and so forth, and life after sports. But he's a smart young man, and he wants to be great. The guy has a work ethic like no other. He's the first one in the building, the last one to leave, so he puts the work in. So it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, we hope so. Two things, Jared. We lost, I thought, some significant pieces on defense in the draft, but everything I hear coming out of camp is that the defense is going to be ferocious.
Oh yeah, we're going to be great, man. It's going to be Michigan, traditional Michigan defense, man. I mean, listen. Lloyd Carr used to always say this, and it's something that resonated with me my whole career, is that the expectation is for the position. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who steps in. Number one goes down, the number two steps up.
Right.
The expectation is for the position. So
Yeah.
you got to play at that. You look at, obviously my career, what I did as a linebacker, I'm blessed to have done. But there's multiple linebackers that have had wonderful careers at Michigan.
Sure.
It's the expectation of how Michigan linebackers play. It's not just one player. So whoever steps up, they're excited. I've been talking to these. I'm around these players a lot, man, and they're ready to go, man. They're chopping. I tell you this, I was with them a week before camp started, and these guys were just chomping at the bit, saying, "Look, we just can't wait to get going." They're hungry. They want to prove people wrong, and so it's going to be an exciting time.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Jared, the depth around, and speaking of Lloyd Carr, his grandson, Tommy Carr, looked really good in that spring game. And I know it's the spring game, I get it, but that kid looked so comfortable playing the position of quarterback. I was just really impressed with that freshman.
Listen, obviously Lloyd I'm very close to. Jason, I played with Jason, Tommy's dad. And so I've known that family for a really long time. I've known the boys. Obviously, one got away, to Notre Dame. I feel like, I get a lot of correlation with my family, with one of mine going to Notre Dame, my brother. But, listen, the talent is and knowledge is in that family. And if you look at, their grandparents, their father was a standout legend at Michigan. Obviously their other grandfather, Lloyd Carr, a legend at Michigan. These boys have no choice but to be good. So I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? So Tommy's going to have a bright career with us, and we're very excited about him. Obviously, spring ball, I don't really get it. I was at the spring game. Yeah. I don't really get into all that. I just know, just like my family having a dad play 10 years in the league, and my older brother at Nebraska, me, Michigan, my younger at Notre Dame. Listen, it's in the genes, man.
Yeah.
So, so these boys are going to be fine. They're both going to do very well.
One last question for you, Jared. The biggest obstacle I see is a brutal schedule. I mean, one of the great schedules in college football, and one of the toughest we've seen at U of M in about a dozen years.
Yeah, I see that as well. And it is what it is. I mean, your schedules are whatever.
Yeah, you got to play who you play.
When you talk to Coach Witt, I mean, he's going to take it one game at a time, man, and he's going to be physical and control what you can control. You know what I mean? And that's all you can do. Like, the schedule's the schedule. And no matter what your schedule is, we're Michigan. Everybody's going to come play us hard. You know what I mean? So it doesn't matter.
100%.
The expectation is for the position. It's about that block M and that wing helmet. So, everybody's going to give our best. Everyone plays this so it's like it's the championship every game, no matter what. So we expect that. So listen, let's go control what we can control, go out there and play our best and play together, and we'll be fine.
Jared, I look forward to seeing you up in the press box when the season gets started, and we'd love to have you on again as we get some football under our belts.
Oh, man, anytime, man. When I go to the games, I'm in the suites. I'm up there anyway, man. So have me come on by. I'd love to come talk to you.
All right. Awesome stuff. Jared Irons joining us here on Friday Faceoff. Love you, man.
Love you too, man.
Thank
go
you.
Blue.
All right, go Blue. We will be back after these words from our fine partners on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Faceoff, brought to us by TVCAirport.com.
Great.
Yeah, slow and great. Welcome back to Friday Face-Off here on Up North Sports Radio, 101.1 WGRY, brought to us by TVCAirport.com. Jerry Coyne, Rich Calkins, and Gordon Miller, Miller Lending, in studio with us. And I'm very excited about Michigan's season. It's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, it certainly is. And you brought up that point at the end, talking to Jared Irons there. That schedule is should be as entertaining as any schedule in college football.
I was gonna jump in there just to add that question to him. But each year when that home schedule comes out, and I'm a season ticket holder.
Well, last year was a
in the
joke.
Club.
Oh, it's horrible.
Right,
Yeah,
and that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So I'm in the Roth Tower, and I've had season tickets there since they built the tower, and and I look at the schedule.
Sure.
So last year was the worst schedule at home I've ever seen. The way it was laid out was awful. It was one game here, one game 3 weeks later, one game 2 weeks. I mean, there was nothing, no
They
rhythm
were
to
at
it.
Oklahoma, and they played Ohio State, and that was pretty much it.
And
they still, they
yeah,
out to
and
Washington.
at
Yeah.
Indiana. It's
They
just,
didn't play at Indiana last
no,
year.
they did in their mind, but Indiana comes in here. I looked at the schedule this year, and it was right back to the month of September being all home games. So I go to the month of September, and I say to myself, well, I obviously can't keep going every single weekend in September. We've got a wedding we've got to go to.
Right.
I look at the dates. I'm like, oh God, they blew a Michigan game. What? Oh geez, I hope it's not Oklahoma. I look at the schedule. It's UTEP, and I'm like, this will be the greatest wedding ever.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was looking later in the season. It's like there's nothing that I wouldn't want to go to. Even UCLA and then Indiana, and I mean that home. The whole schedule is insane.
My Bruins are finally coming
They are.
back to the big house.
Coming back.
According to PFI or FPI, Michigan has the second toughest schedule in the country, behind the Texas Longhorns. Texas, if you looked at Texas' schedule, it's pretty tough too.
Ohio State top 70.
It doesn't say that.
Oh, they didn't make the top
They didn't
70.
make the top 5 on this list. Now, I had heard there's a lot of different metrics. I heard that Michigan's schedule is the 16th hardest. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Take a look at it. I mean, they could conceivably lose 7 games this year.
They're going to destroy some people phically. That
yeah, but I'm just saying that they've got Washington. Washington is going to be sneaky good this year. They, a lot of people thought that Michigan should have gone after Judd Fish as their because he was the O coordinator.
Jed didn't want it.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm glad they got Witt. I think Witt is the perfect fit.
transition.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Perfect.
But Michigan has got their hands full.
I think he'll have them ready.
I have no doubt he'll have them ready.
Are we taking an over 9? I mean, are we going to predict their schedule? We could do that like we did the Lions, but I would think they don't have more than.
We can do that.
I don't think they have more than. They won't lose more than 3. I'm going to
Because
Columbus.
I have yours on the wall for the Lions. I told you that some guy from Sports Illustrated said 14-3. That's what Gordo wins with.
14-3.
Yeah, you
Whoa.
remember? Yeah. So Michigan.
There was
starts
one other
off-
guy.
Western Michigan travels to Michigan.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Yes, that is a Michigan victory.
We're gonna be unanimous there.
Then the Sooners come into town.
They sure do.
Who
That's
is
when we
ranked number
see.
6.
That's when we see.
Mateer still a quarterback for them?
That's right.
It's so. Boy.
I think that's where Michigan shows what Kyle Whittingham has transitioned them into.
Well, we're going to find
Yeah,
out.
we are going to find out.
Oklahoma didn't lose hardly anybody on defense, and that was one of the best defenses in the country. So Bryce Underwood is going to have to show his. They've got to have added some running into this thing. That was the biggest head scratcher all year long.
Exactly.
Why was there no running plays for Bryce Underwood?
There was
Yeah.
no, it didn't make sense.
Yeah. Then UTEP comes to town. We like that. So are you saying that Oklahoma is beating Michigan, or Michigan is beating Oklahoma in the Big House?
I'll take the home team.
Yeah, I will take the home team
Wow.
there too.
Okay.
Rich, what are you doing?
I'm going to take the Sooners. Sorry.
Okay.
I gotta be. There's one of us.
You're out of the studio.
Right.
Write these down for eternity. Right.
Because the next one's pretty easy. UTEP at U of M. I think we all like Michigan there. So Gordo and I have them 3-0. Rich has
they're
them
going to
2-1.
Yeah.
A very interesting game to end out the month of September. Iowa comes to U of M. Thank God it's here, not there, because Iowa is a house of horrors for just about every team in the Big Ten. I don't know what Iowa has coming in as far as, I'm sure they're going to play really good defense. Last year they actually scored points for the first time in a decade.
Is Cade McNamara in year 7?
No.
Did he finally done?
Cade is back at Burger King.
Wow. All right. Finally.
Yeah. I like Michigan to beat the Hawkeyes.
So do we. Aye.
Yes.
Rich, your call?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then Michigan's first road game is October 3rd. They're in Minnesota.
I got Michigan again.
Okay. I do too. A game that's going to be hard. Then they're off. They have the bye. They have the perfect bye. October 10th is their off, and then Penn State rolls into town. A Penn State team that a lot of people like. They play no one this year.
Right.
This is
their game.
This is Michigan's hardest game. They got. I don't even think they have Oregon. So there you go.
Penn State doesn't play well in Ann Arbor, that I recall.
They never. Actually, they play better in Ann Arbor than they actually play Michigan in Happy Valley.
I went to one of those. The Brady.
The last time Penn State
it
was here, they beat Michigan.
It was. I went to the Brady Drew Henson.
I remember
State
that game.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was fun.
All right, so
Michigan's still undefeated.
luckily,
they're gonna run the home
Michigan's
schedule.
next game is Indiana at U of M.
Oof.
That's a tough
Wow.
back-to-back.
Wow.
I think that IU will beat Michigan. When's the last time Indiana beat Michigan at home? That is a great question. I have this up, so
What is that
It's
one?
been many moons.
Oh, God.
Is
Many. If it's
if
been
it's
a
ever
moon.
I wonder if it's ever happened.
Yeah.
It's got to have
It is.
happened once.
Man.
Is that the old
You
Oaken
could
Bucket?
type
I
that
think-
in.
yeah,
No, that's
that
not the
one.
old Oaken Bucket. The old
I'm
Oaken Bucket is
confusing
when
with-
Indiana plays Purdue.
Close enough.
There is no
there's
trophy
no
game
nothing?
between Indiana
No
and
little
Michigan.
brown jug. No nothing. No victory bell.
The old
no,
shoebox.
No. Good enough. Good enough.
So Michigan gets a respite after that. They travel to Rutgers.
Well, we didn't pick it. So
Well, I did. I'm
okay.
saying Indiana's
Well,
gonna
Rich is
beat
trying
Yeah,
to
I
track
think
this,
so, too. I
right?
think Indiana takes this the second loss for
I'll
me.
go with Indiana.
Okay.
But
So then Michigan has Rutgers. I think all of us like Michigan there.
Yeah.
And then Sparty travels into U of M, and hopefully Kyle understands that it will be some type of rivalry game.
I hope he rides in
Yeah,
on
I
him.
hope
He's
he
gonna ride into Ann Arbor, the big house, on his motorcycle.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
So
Lead the team by the. He
we
did
all
that.
like U of
He
M
did that in Utah.
over Sparty,
Yes, we do.
right? Okay.
Yes, we
so
do.
Rich, you can put that down.
Yeah.
You're way behind.
Oh, I know. I'm trying to do too many things at once. here.
You mean
Try-
two
well,
things at
two
once?
is too many.
Too many.
Yeah.
One way to put it.
Brilliant. I love it. Yes, I do have my doubts.
For those that
on
don't know, Rich
can
is an
run the
English teacher.
production
Yes.
And do the,
Yeah,
do the
exactly, as you
play-by-play.
should.
That's right. And then what should be a fantastic football game, Michigan travels to Oregon.
Ooh.
I don't,
Tough
How
place
did
to
Utah? How
play.
did Utah do against Oregon? They beat them a few times, didn't they?
I don't know if they've played him recently
'cause
since
he's-
Lanning has gotten there.
Because he's real familiar with Oregon. That'll be a great. Geez, you hate to take them to lose again,
Well,
right?
number one, Lanning is Oregon's ranked number 2 preseason, right behind Ohio State.
Yeah. Well, we play them both, so.
Yeah, that's the day after my birthday. Unfortunately,
I'll go Oregon. Yeah, at Oregon.
I mean, I have to take Oregon there as well.
Tough place to play.
Then my Bruins come in to U of M. I will not be rooting for UCLA in that game. God knows what UCLA will be like. They have a new coach, and I haven't heard much out of the program.
Right.
But you like U of M there, and then down to Ohio State. Kyle Whittingham's first travel to Columbus in this game. You know, the one question I have, Ohio State is
I'll be there. I'm going.
Ohio State pre-ranked, preseason ranked number 1. And yeah, they load up every year.
Right.
But how can you replace all the they lost 9 starters on defense to the NFL draft. Are you telling me that they have 9 All-Americans coming back in off the field to play in this defense?
When you see the guys that played on that defense, you wonder when you're watching.
How did they lose?
How'd they lose?
Yeah,
you
how
go
did-
like, what? That's
Matt Patricia was the
malfeasance.
coordinator.
Yeah, he was.
That's why.
That's because he had 9 NFL players.
No,
to
but I mean
coordinate.
that's how he lost. You said, how did they ever lose? Well, they had Matt Patricia.
It wasn't the defensive problem. They turned the football over and they didn't move the ball. And they think Julian Sayin is returning and he's
Yeah.
a great quarterback. I didn't see any great quarterback play from him in the playoffs. Now, he's got Jeremiah Smith to throw the football to, which would make Rich look good in the pocket back there.
I'm a pocket passer. Can't move anymore.
And I don't know who's going to run the football for them either. So, I don't know if this is just a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, Ohio State, everybody. Plus, they have to go down to Texas and play Texas in the second game of the year. So,
Arch Manning is going to be if Texas doesn't win that game, then I would never have Arch Manning on my draft board. There should be no bigger revenge game for you in your career than that one.
Because he didn't play so well against them.
He lost the game.
Yeah, it was bad.
If he had played average, they would have won. But he lost that game. It was the first game of the year. I'm glad this is the second game. Probably Texas is first and Ohio State's fourth. But yeah, it's the second game. That game's going to be tough. Again, it's so late in the season and you don't know. And you look at Indiana, Oregon, and Ohio State. Those three, and I just have the feeling they're gonna win one of those.
Ohio State had a ridiculously easy schedule last year as well.
Yep. Yes.
Check their schedule out this year. Ball State, at Texas, Kent State. You have to play your Ohio teams. Michigan's doing the same thing with Western. I don't quibble with that. They have Texas in the lineup.
Right.
We have Oklahoma, so I'm not I'm not poo-pooing that. Then they got Illinois comes to town, who is going to be better than average. Then Ohio State goes to Iowa. Maryland comes into Ohio State. Ohio travels to Indiana.
Good.
Okay.
Then they travel. They've got the week off, and they go to USC.
Okay.
Then Oregon comes to Ohio.
Good.
Then they got to go to Nebraska, which is never a fun place to play. And then they got U of M. So kudos to the schedule makers. And Indiana has the exact same schedule in Oregon. So all the big boys are pretty much playing each other, other than Penn State, who God knows what that team's going to be like with Matt Campbell. I would say probably better than they were last year.
Same with
the key is the big
Fitzgerald,
games.
yeah.
Will they play better in the big games? Because again, whatchamacallit really struggled.
Who?
Former Penn State coach
Franklin.
Frank. Yeah, Frank. Yeah.
He's at Vatek.
Yeah,
Right. So Vatek ain't winning any big games.
And Matt Campbell brought in his quarterback from Iowa State. A lot of people think Penn State will go 11-1 and be in the playoffs.
No, they're going to lose in Ann Arbor.
There's the loss.
They're gonna
11-1. You want me to go through Penn State's schedule super quick?
They don't play Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, any of them?
No, they don't play anybody other than Michigan and USC.
Oh, give me a break.
Traditionally they play a brutal non-conference schedule. I'm kidding.
They got Slippery Rock. They're playing in state, so they're taking
Michigan
on.
doesn't host a Slippery Rock.
Rock.
Here is Penn State's
anymore.
schedule. Stop me when you see a loss on there. Marshall, Temple. Penn State going to Temple.
Ooh, wow.
Buffalo, Wisconsin at Penn State. Then Penn State goes to Northwestern. And have you seen that new football stadium?
I have not.
It is
heard.
Incredibly gorgeous.
Right on the shores of Lake Michigan.
It's super small.
Right.
It just encompasses the field. USC comes to Penn State. Then Penn State goes to Michigan. Then Purdue at Washington, which could be a tough game.
They should lose.
Minnesota, Rutgers, Maryland.
Got a rivalry game in there. They could lose to either Minnesota or Maryland would be my thoughts. So I'll give them 3 losses.
Minnesota is a rival for Penn State?
No, Maryland is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
All right.
Yep. I said a rivalry game in there.
We will be back after these words from our fine partners
I think.
on Up North Sports Radio's Friday Faceoff, brought to us by Penn State Football. Welcome back to Friday Faceoff here on Up North Sports Radio. Rich Calkins, Jerry Coyne, and Gordon Miller in studio. Rich, talk. I have to get Lindsay on the phone.
Okay, here we go. You bet. Absolutely. So, Gordon, we just went through the schedule there. You think Michigan is going to what? Possibly lose two games?
I'm gonna go with 9-3.
9-3. Okay.
9-3. So they're gonna lose the same number of games the Lions are.
Okay.
They're both gonna go through 3-loss seasons.
They are. Okay.
And
Wow.
the Tigers in the next month, they're just gonna lose 3 games.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stick.
Wow.
I'm
He's
kidding.
going with the threes. Going with the threes.
It's man, that American League Central is so bad.
Oh, it is.
All right, we haven't talked to Lindsay Southwell from Shanty Creek in a while, and we got Balloons Over Bel Air coming up. Lindsay, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Thanks for joining us. I know you've been busy out there mowing the lawn and the grass and cleaning hotel rooms, but probably the most interesting event on the calendar at Shanty Creek is Balloons Over Bel Air.
Absolutely it is. We're about 3 weeks away from it now at the end of this month. And we have a bunch, essentially it's a bunch of hot air balloons taking off behind the Lakeview Hotel. So we have anywhere from a dozen to 24 balloons. And really it's just a show. You can get really intimate and close with the balloonists and all the action of them, watching the process of them blowing up the balloons and then taking off above the hotel. It really is a fantastic sight to see just the balloons, but then you also have that backdrop of beautiful Lake Bel Air in the background, which makes it just an over-the-top experience.
And that is Friday, August 28th, and Saturday, August 29th. Now, if you're asking me, with the 90 holes in 90 days and you need 3 nights stay, I would book that, play golf, and watch balloons. I can't imagine. And, hit the Rich Calkins Memorial Prime Rub Buffet.
Every time we talk, we add another word to the name of his buffet.
Yeah.
But yes, exactly. We need Rich's buffet front and center there with the golf, with the balloons. It sounds like a pretty good, weekend to round out the summer.
100%. Labor Day is as late as it can be, so this is the weekend before that. And it'll be absolutely beautiful. The colors won't be changing then, but it doesn't matter. All the color will be up in the sky.
Oh, absolutely. It really is a spectacular sight to see. So if you haven't had a chance, if you're not staying, you can come and watch the display. It's still just as fantastic.
Lindsay, where do people find all this wonderful information?
So you can find more information about Balloons Over Bel Air or the 90 holes for $90 at shantycreek.com.
Lindsay Southwell, thanks for joining us, and I'll see you on the golf course this weekend.
All righty. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Okay, Balloons Over Bel Air, or Rich's Ballooning Waistline.
That's
over
right.
Bel Air. There you go.
How many air balloons are there?
Between 15 and 20. You better get over there, because thinking of hot air, you will be manually blowing up some of those balloons. I want to see that.
I want to, right, yeah, hey.
Exactly.
Between you and I, we got it covered, man.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
What's the date on that?
The last weekend. February.
Yeah.
August 28th and 29th, Friday and Saturday.
Last weekend before college football season starts.
Yeah.
For the big Western Michigan.
So I had to do some deep diving here. Indiana did beat Michigan back on October 13th, 1928.
Damn.
Dang,
We're
I
doomed.
know it.
We're
One
doomed.
and 67 at the big house.
They've won 11 overall, and the
10 of them at IU.
Oh, look at actually now that I got more, they dominated some of these games. Oh, but again, you're going 36 and 44 and 45. So
it was the war.
Well, let's put it this way.
Tom Harmon.
It's been a long.
We were missing Tom Harmon.
I guarantee you, Kurt Signetti
It wasn't fair.
will be informing the Hoosiers
For sure.
that they won once before your grandfather was born.
Right.
So
Don't take Michigan lightly.
No.
Don't look ahead to Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn
Indiana
State.
is going to be interesting. Obviously, Signetti can coach. And they brought in some pretty interesting guys. They have a new quarterback who I'm trying to remember where he's from. He was the second best quarterback in the portal. The first one went to LSU, Levitt from Arizona State.
Yes.
He's quarterbacking
From
at
Michigan State to Arizona
No,
State.
he's but no.
To-
That's fine. No,
right,
but he
originally.
went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Michigan State didn't think he was good enough to play.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
right.
they have like 3 or 4
Their talent
ex-quarterbacks
evaluation is outstanding.
Yes.
that are starters at other schools.
At other schools,
Aiden
right?
Childs
That's
is at
that's what
North-
I meant,
Yeah,
right?
Kim.
right?
Do you know where if you could tell me where Aiden Childs is going to play this year,
I don't.
I'll give you a
Yeah.
free buffet ticket.
Yeah, I can't.
Northwestern.
Look,
Yeah. So
real smart
Big-
kid. Then
big
good
revenge
for
game.
him.
Big revenge game for him in East Lansing.
he had to be smart enough. I don't even in this new NIL system. I do not think that Northwestern screws with grades. They better not now.
Right.
If
Yeah.
they didn't screw around with them for me.
We give them a lot of popular. We good press.
no, I
here.
wanted to go.
It was yeah,
Northwestern wanted me
no.
to play for them, but I was at a 3.2, not a 3.6.
Yeah, no kidding. I almost missed the word there.
Duke has stuck to that for pretty much forever. I mean, you can finagle your grades around on your end at your
Right.
high school.
Yeah. Right.
But
a
not
three-
on their end.
once your transcripts show up at Duke or Northwestern.
right.
North Carolina got to the point you needed a 4.1 to get in.
As an athlete, I call BS on that.
No, as an athlete, it
I
was
wonder what
African-
Michael
it
Jordan's
was-
grade point average was when he got to
Well, he was an African American studies major, like all they were. They all took that course. They all took that major.
I'm talking about getting into the school.
And-
they
yeah.
didn't have
Right.
they didn't have
Yeah,
African American studies in high school. Did you?
Yeah. Groves and Seaholm, you were at Rice. I mean, Brother
Yes,
Rice.
I know, we
yeah,
actually went to
right.
class.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, no, we were just a sports factory, football factory. I'm joking.
Yes, and it's so funny. Usually jokes are followed by laughter.
Yeah, well, that's because nobody out there knows whether Seaholm was really
Yeah,
good or
whether
bad.
Seaholm-
This is a private joke, you know. It's like
When your moniker is the Maples, I'm not expecting a crap ton of sports excellence.
It does
Hey,
instill
you're-
fear. in
No,
you.
it doesn't. Here come the Maples.
Your school's
Let's
lucky
make some
that they
syrup.
were able to keep the name Warriors.
What do you mean?
It's the connotation is of too much death, too rough,
Okay.
politically incorrect.
Rich, do we have any canoe news?
How about some Lions talk?
Yeah,
Got
let's.
some camp action there. Dan Campbell spoke on 97 Won the Ticket yesterday for a little bit, and one of the guys he talked about was Tyleek Williams.
Yes, lost 50 pounds.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's he threw away a few cheeseburgers, and so that's good. But another kid that's really standing out to him in the defensive backfield, which we need, is this Whiteside kid, Nick Whiteside, Saginaw Valley kid.
Yeah.
That's anytime you get a super small school like that, and you got a kid that's standing out in camp, good for him.
Well, they're gonna need help in the
Oh,
secondary.
he might be looking good because he's one of the few
I mean,
players.
you
out
can
there.
guarantee.
Whiteside played the end of last year.
Yeah, he
and
did,
Played,
yes.
and played very well.
Yeah, he was on the practice squad for a long time. They moved him up, and so Rock Yao-Sin, of course, is playing. He's a veteran.
Rockison played pretty good last year.
I thought he was solid.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Like we said,
Yeah.
we were kind of surprised that they didn't re-sign Vidor.
Yeah.
Because he was more than adequate, and that is one of our biggest issues.
Right.
We'll continue to knock on wood. Injuries are starting to show up in training camp as they will. So far, Lions avoiding that.
But Mike Tannenbaum, again today, Get Up this morning, is talking the Lions need to go after Max Crosby.
He's crazy.
He really thinks with the defensive backfield issues, they need to make a big splash play, and so the quarterbacks have no time, and he wants Crosby. He's been traded once, remember, and it fell through, so that's his take. But Ahmad Hassanin, the draft pick, 6th-round draft pick a year ago, he's really playing well, I guess, as well.
I was hoping to get some contribution from him this year. Whiteside's an Avondale kid. He was local to where Jerry
Is he?
and
Okay.
a friend of mine coached him in high school and mentioned him when they signed him as an undrafted. And then the first game he played, he was the one breaking up all the passes while everybody else was
Right.
trying to figure out where to position themselves.
I like the preseason games when you're like, now, who's that number 38,
38,
out
right.
there? You're like, what's going on out there? And
Yeah, he just kept making plays. That's all.
If
Just
you're going to
make
make that
plays.
trade, why don't you just trade for Sauce Gardner from the Colts? I mean, that did not turn out to be a great deal for the Colts.
No.
Depending on how they start, I bet you can get Sauce
You might
for
be able
a
to,
second
yeah.
round. I'd be way better getting Sauce Gardner than trying to get Max Crosby.
Right.
So
Actually adding to the weak spot instead of trying to cover up the weak spot.
100%. So there's a few free agent DBs that are floating around that have dubious injury histories, or they're getting too old, or whatever.
Right.
But maybe they'll get lucky. But Kirby Joseph, I don't even.
I
just retire and take the insurance settlement or something. That's a shame. It's to lose your. Yeah, I mean.
No, it's shocking, to be honest with you, that it doesn't appear that they took a lot of stock in the medical.
Yeah.
Before giving him
weeks
what
after
they
he
what
signs
did they-
this huge extension, he's got a chronic knee.
Yeah.
What?
It just yeah.
You,
It's
you
like
guys just signed him. What do you mean he's got a
Coyne's
chronic
ankle will be much better next year. We know that. There's no way that he can continue
it only
to
gets-
screw up that left ankle.
knee? It only
Doesn't
gets
need
better.
surgery.
It gets better by not playing. That's how it gets better.
It doesn't get better
But
by
that doesn't help anybody.
rushing him back onto the field of play.
Maybe there's some procedure that Scooble's doctor will come up with where you just replace,
They do ankle replacements now. Did you know that?
I did.
I
yeah.
did not. They just started them a
right
few
now,
years-
shoulders are the hardest ones to recover from. Knees, hips are easy, but ankles.
you've had them all,
I've
right?
had them all.
Has your shoulder been replaced?
No,
Oh,
my
okay.
shoulders have not, but my hips and knees, and but ankle. Anytime you get those kind of those joints that move multiple ways, that it's troublesome.
Yeah, there's a gentleman that's I think 8 years older than me that I used to play golf with up at Gaylord Golf Club, had his ankle replaced, and it's great now. But it was 2 years of agony.
Yeah.
I'd rather wear my ankle brace and take the odd ejection, but
Yeah.
it's been fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I can step on a screw and turn my foot will stay on the floor and my ankle will hit the ground at the same time.
Then that's an issue.
that's
Yeah,
like
it's an odd
classic.
look.
There's
Jerry, how is your
Well,
foot
look at that.
and your ankle on the
That,
floor?
that range of motion is unbelievable.
there's
How'd you
pitching
do that?
elbow and there's basketball ankle. And two
Yeah,
of them.
100%.
It's
Anything, guys, before we leave? So the Lions,
Will play.
was that the most exciting Hall of Fame game in
oh
history?
my gosh. It was actually a fun game
Yeah,
to
it
watch.
was.
Usually they're so
Mike Tirico,
boring.
it sounded like that Super Bowl. Was,
Yeah.
And Carolina wins!
Yeah.
on the last play of the game by an undrafted quarterback free agent who we'll never hear from again. But he played well.
But Beck
played
played well for
No, who was it? Who was the
Yeah,
kid?
it wasn't Carson Beck.
Carson Beck
No,
played really well.
I'm talking
the,
about Carolina. Who was it?
the running quarterback there that
Yeah.
scored.
He might make the team. I'm trying to remember his name. I thought
That was
he
an
might.
I don't remember the name.
Yeah. Okay. That's
But
fine.
I don't know. I only spent half the year there.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't-
what that's
I don't know this stuff.
This is what makes this sports show so great. When the most common answer is I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
He was a
That-
Look it up.
known running quarterback.
AI Google.
Yeah.
Who is the running quarterback that finished the game last night in?
Haynes King.
Yeah,
Hey,
King.
no.
No,
Haynes
he had a
King.
great career at Georgia Tech. That guy scored some huge touchdowns for a pretty good Georgia Tech team for 2 years in a row. I like Haynes King.
But he's got to beat out Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's never
that's
gonna
asking a lot.
Talking of backup quarterbacks, you know that it's getting weird at camp when Luke Altmaier reports are coming out. Altmaier taking
Altmaier.
advantage of his reps.
Oh, God,
You're like,
where's Will Levis now?
who?
Where's what? Yeah, Malik is down in Atlanta.
Teddy Bridgewater
Tampa?
is in camp.
Yes, he
Okay.
is.
Yeah, we got
But-
Teddy.
He
Yeah,
did
okay.
set out yesterday because of the humidity.
Coach Teddy's doing well.
Seriously, he did.
He served lemonade
It's
to
just like,
to-
you know,
He spends all year in Florida.
I know exactly. You're like,
Deep-
this is nothing up here.
He won the
Mi-
state championship at
in Miami.
D4. It's
in Miami.
no, I know.
And he can't handle the humidity here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, well, let's
That's
put-
interesting.
put Teddy in bubble wrap. 'cause
Right.
we,
Yes, exactly.
Do not break glass until Actually, Altmaier probably needs the reps more than
For sure.
Teddy Bridgewater.
But you probably will see starters play a little more in preseason this year,
That's what
purely
that's
because
what he
they don't
said.
have any joint practices.
yeah, that is.
Gamble said he
They're
was
trying
going
to stay
to
healthy.
do
Campbell
it.
give an explanation for that?
Other than
Because last year, for the 2 years that they
Oh,
did
it's-
it,
that
he
was
was like, "This
everything."
was the greatest thing that
Yeah,
ever we
nothing.
can put."
and now it's like, nope, it's got to be purely because of health. That's the only thing I can think
Yeah,
of.
but they never had anybody getting hurt in those practices. It's
Right.
just what? Because we had guys. I don't
in
know.
red shirts that weren't being hit. But I've
Look
gone.
at the Niners already.
Oh, my gosh.
It's sickening.
Oh, it's terrible.
No, those exhibition games the last 2 years. Oh my God, it was like, will somebody please take my tickets? I'm not going to watch the third and fourth and fifth
Hey, well,
stringers.
you know what? Give me your tickets. We'll give them away on the air. People love it.
Yeah, they
Because
do.
a lot of people up here never get a chance to go to Ford Field. So you want to give me your tickets, and I guarantee you that a huge Lions fan who's never been to Ford Field
will definitely.
love
We'll
them.
love it.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I will.
All right,
do that next.
you heard that, folks.
Got it.
Right there.
Next
Call
season.
JC
Yes.
and ask for
The
Gordon
ticket guy.
Miller's.
Preseason ticket.
Unfortunately, you do have to get a new mortgage from Miller Lending. That's going to do it.
And then
here.
you're entered to win. Right.
Don't forget that we have a great. I very briefly, guys. I got a great interview for Friday Finding Fairways that'll be running here at 9 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday, and at 7 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday in Q100 Michigan. But Tyler Ray, the architect who just recently renovated Detroit Golf Club that
Oh,
people
nice,
were
yes.
raving about
Yes.
at the Rocket, and he did a beautiful job. And I have Tyler on for a couple of segments talking about his business. He's in the business of renovating Donald Ross golf courses.
Nice.
So it's a great show, especially if you like golf architecture. So shameless plug for that. And we will be back here next Friday at 10 o'clock for Friday Faceoff, brought to us by TVCAirport.com.